Good afternoon, children. I'm Mrs. Jessie, your biology teacher and Genesis class teacher. And in the previous classes, we discussed about nutrition as a life process. And you studied nutrition is an important process to get energy. But by the process of nutrition, if you take the food just into the mouth or if you drop the food into the digestive system, you are not going to derive any energy. So then what is that process by which living organisms utilize the food and from that they're able to release the energy? That life process is respiration. Respiration is a process, it's a life process which is in every organism, okay, in every living organism this process takes place. So let me ask you a question. What is respiration? Are you able to define respiration? You have some knowledge of the previous classes. It's a biochemical process by which the food, the glucose is broken down, is oxidized in presence of oxygen and energy is released in the form of ATP. So it's a biochemical process and the energy released is in the form of ATP. And where does it take place? It takes place in each and every cell of every living organism, whether it is unicellular or multicellular. It takes place inside the cell. So the complete term for respiration is cellular respiration. Now, when you studied about nutrition, you studied about photosynthesis and its importance. And if you compare, if you make a comparative study between photosynthesis and respiration, they are, opposite to each other. You know, in photosynthesis, glucose is synthesized, whereas in respiration, glucose is broken down. In photosynthesis, carbon dioxide and water are used up. Or they are the reactants, but in respiration, carbon dioxide and water are the byproducts. They are the products, okay, byproducts. In photosynthesis, energy is stored, so it is endergonic process. But in respiration, energy is released, or it is exergonic process. And there are many differences if you compare. Like respiration takes place as long as a living organism is alive, but photosynthesis takes place only in green plants and it takes place only during day. So if you compare, if you put your full thinking into it, you can find out more differences. Some more differences you can get from the notes what I have said. And what is the chemical equation for respiration? There is a chemical equation. C6H12O6, which is glucose, combines with the oxygen. So C6H12O6 plus 6O2 gives 6CO2 plus 6H2O plus 38 ATP energy. What is ATP? You know the full form, adenosine triphosphate. So 38 ATP energy is released from one molecule of glucose during the process of respiration, a complete respiration. Now, what is glucose here? Glucose is the respiratory substrate. What do you mean by substrate? The substance upon which a chemical reaction takes place. So here, glucose is known as the respiratory substrate and energy is released in the form of ATP, which is the usable form of energy in the living body. That means by the process of respiration, the chemical energy which is present in the food is converted into usable form of energy, that is ATP. Okay, we also compared photosynthesis and respiration. Write down some differences in the copy. Now let me ask you a question. Now let me ask you a question. Are breathing and respiration the same processes? Most of us think they are same processes, but absolutely not. Breathing is only a leading process to respiration. In breathing, what happens? In breathing, only oxygen is taken in and carbon dioxide is given out. But respiration takes place purely inside the cell. And in breathing, no enzymes are required. But in respiration, there are so many enzymes groups which are required for completing the process of respiration. In breathing, it is just an external process. It is not a chemical reaction. It is an external process. It is a physical process. It's just an exchange of gases between the lungs and the surroundings. From the surroundings, oxygen is taken and carbon dioxide is given out. But in respiration, energy is released and it takes place inside the cell always. Okay, there are many more differences. You may get the differences from the notes that I am sending to you. And so, the next topic for us is types of respiration. One is aerobic respiration and the second type is anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration is the respiration that takes place in higher plants, and now discuss some of the differences between aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration occurs in presence of oxygen and aerobic respiration occurs in the absence or less amount of oxygen. Aerobic respiration takes place in the cytoplasm and it completes in the mitochondria. But anaerobic respiration takes place only in the cytoplasm. And food is completely oxidized in aerobic respiration, whereas incomplete oxidation of food takes place in the anaerobic respiration. In aerobic respiration, 38 ATPs of energy is produced, whereas in anaerobic respiration, only 2 ATPs of energy is produced. In aerobic respiration, end products are CO2 and H2O with energy, whereas the end products in anaerobic respiration are ethyl alcohol and CO2 or lactic acid. Now, in aerobic respiration, it occurs in majority of plants and animals, whereas the anaerobic respiration takes place in lower organisms like yeast, bacteria, and in some parasitic worms also. Let us see now the aerobic respiration in a detailed manner. Actually, in every living organism, aerobic respiration also has a slight phase of anaerobic respiration, as including our body. Even in our body, in our cells also, there is a slight phase of. That means it takes place in two phases. The first phase is anaerobic and soon takes place the complete aerobic. So that means glucose, by the process of glycolysis which takes place in cytoplasm, converts into pyruvate, and then the pyruvate combines with the oxygen in the mitochondria and the end products are formed, that is carbon dioxide, water and ATP. Now, glycolysis is the first kind of respiration in the cell that takes place in the cytoplasm. I have drawn a diagram here. So you can see the glycolysis, which is the first phase of aerobic respiration, takes place inside the cytoplasm, and the product of that first phase is pyruvate or pyruvic acid, and that process is known as glycolysis. Okay, what is glycolysis? It's a process by which glucose is converted into pyruvate, which takes place in cytoplasm. Okay, and it takes place in less amount of oxygen, and then that pyruvate enters into mitochondria to have the complete oxidation, and that what takes place in the mitochondria is known as Krebs cycle, because it was studied by Krebs, a scientist known as Krebs. And this Krebs cycle is also known as TCA cycle or citric acid cycle. TCA means tricarboxylic acid cycle or citric acid cycle, because there are lot of enzymatic groups involved to produce the enzymes to facilitate the process of respiration, that you will be studying in very higher classes. I mean 11, 12 class, and even the graduation you will be studying all the great details If you want to know, I can help you, those who want to know. So, in anaerobic respiration, what happens? Glucose by glycolysis forms pyruvate, and that pyruvate is not entering into mitochondria. Straight away, in the absence of oxygen, or less amount of oxygen, that pyruvate is straight away converted into ethyl alcohol and CO2, and very less amount of, negligible amount of energy, that is 2 ATP. So ethyl alcohol C2H5OH. Ethyl alcohol is formed in the process of anaerobic respiration. So that is the pyruvate is not entering into mitochondria. If it enters into mitochondria, what happens? Complete respiration, that is aerobic respiration. Now children, let us see the next topic, that is mechanism of respiration. The steps in respiration are intake of oxygen from surroundings, stepwise oxidation of food, release of energy as ATP, and elimination of carbon dioxide. That means release of carbon dioxide as a byproduct. Intake of oxygen is a physical process, that is breathing. From the surrounding, oxygen is taken and CO2 is given to the surroundings. Children, you know, respiration is nothing else but it is the combining of food with the oxygen. That is oxidation of food or burning of food, you can say. That takes place inside the cell. Now, let us discuss about the oxidation of the food. As you studied already, the first step is again glycolysis, and the second step is Krebs cycle, which I have already explained to you. Krebs cycle takes place where? In the mitochondria. And what is it also known as? TCA cycle, yeah, citric acid cycle. Okay. Now, another important topic for you is very important. All these topics are discussed in NCERT also, but you will find it hard to understand the language in NCERT, so I have simplified it. This is another important topic. 3 pathways of oxidation of glucose. That means which are the 3 ways for oxidation of glucose. So glucose, which is a 6-carbon compound. Okay, glucose is a 6-carbon compound. And you know, in the cytoplasm of every cell, by glycolysis, that 6-carbon compound changes into a 3-carbon compound, that is pyruvate. Then what happens? 3 different pathways we will see. This pyruvate, in case of yeast cells, that means lower microorganisms, in the absence of oxygen, that is converted into ethyl alcohol, CO2 and 2 ATP. And another pathway is that in our muscle cells and all, you know, sometimes when we do constant strenuous activities and all, we get severe muscular cramps and pain and all. That is due to a kind of anaerobic respiration. What happens is that the pyruvate which forms in the cytoplasm is converted into lactic acid. Okay, lactic acid, and that lactic acid gets accumulated within the muscle cells, and that causes cramps and pains and all. And in such situations, if you stand up and do some movements of the muscles and hands and body and do some exercise, you feel relaxed because oxygen is available to the cells, muscle cells, and aerobic respiration continues. So that is another pathway. Lactic acid forms in the muscle cells due to anaerobic respiration with a negligible amount of energy. The third pathway is the complete respiration that takes place in mitochondria. That means the pyruvate which forms in cytoplasm enters into where? Already you studied. Enters into mitochondria in full presence of oxygen. That is now pyruvate is completely broken down into the byproducts CO2, water, and 38 ATP energy. That means in our body and all, in cytoplasm 2 ATP, and in mitochondria 36 ATP. So in the final process of respiration, 36 plus 2 from cytoplasm, 38 ATP energy is produced. Now children, when you speak about anaerobic respiration, it has one more aspect to understand. That is, in certain bacteria and fungi, they respire only anaerobically. Okay, certain bacteria. What are bacteria? Plants or animals? They are plants. Even fungi, they are also plants, only non-green plants. They respire anaerobically, and in them, that anaerobic respiration is known as fermentation. Children, fermentation has lot of applications in daily life. Wine making in wine industry, bread making industry. Then for making idli, dosa, you grind some rice and keep over some hours. Their fermentation takes place, and that's the reason the mixture of the dosa, idli, bread, all that becomes very soft. You can try it at home. Take some water, put some sugar, and add some maida or something in that. Keep over some time. Some hours you keep it, you can see the solution has fermented. Okay, maida, sugar, and if you want you can add some yeast cells also in that. Keep it over some 5 to 6 hours, and you can see the mixture has become fermented. And this is how the bread is prepared in bakeries. Wine is prepared this way by fermentation. So it has lot of applications. So what is fermentation? It's a kind of anaerobic respiration that takes place in lower forms of some microscopic plants like bacteria and fungi. And children, this is enough for today's class. Hope you understand everything. Put your thinking also. Put your questions to me in WhatsApp, personal WhatsApp, and plus I will give you some assignment questions in the separate WhatsApp immediately. Okay. Children, stay home, stay safe, and one